Every man who fancies himself of being educated laments the burning of the Library of Alexandria. But ask yourself, what was there that was so important that nowhere else you can find a copy of it? Did the Egyptians really lost knowledge or just their dignity? Thousands of years later, the world was more advanced with or without that library, with or without the Egyptian populace. What Alexandria lost was not the library, but the vigor, the spirit that brought forth the library in the first place. How does one remember what he has forgotten, O death, as one discovered it for the first time? For the individual, it matters more how he interacts with what he has than what is available. Don't give a violin to a chimp and expect him to play. Give a child a melody and it will start singing. What one does with one page is more important than the masses of paper one has on his desk. In this age, through libraries, book printing, and the internet, every man has more books on his fingertips than barons had 500 years ago. Back then a man was too poor for a book, now we are too poor for what is in it. Now we produce mass, the quality is still lacking. As for the effect of all that, the modern man tries to read as much as possible, more than he can digest and chew. A golden age of gluttony, even print and paper, paint and pen. The effect is a bloated mind, sickly, unhealthy, and easily irritated. You could say the overstimulation makes us numb. For the most it means ditching the books and swallowing everything the mighty algorithm gives them to hear. But with books it is the same as it is with people. It is a craft to know what to read and an art what not to. If we try not to understand what we read, if we do not want to digest, it does not matter the quality of our books. It will be puked out like the rest. Better not to waste our time at all. The purpose of books is not solely to transform knowledge and conserve it to who might need to hear it, but to make a man think. The best books are those who whisper a storm of force, where we think more than we read. The words of the wise may be brief, but they hold the longest in our heads. The deepest pounds are the stillest after all. We have a wrong mindset when it comes to acquiring books. Not the words, but what comes to mind for those shall be important. It is better to once speak courage than have 1,000 words of excuses for peace. In the river of time, our libraries are just a fleeting thought in darkness, lit by the minds who wrote and studied them. As for wisdom and words, their whispers are like the wind, they come and go. But come and see how many books can a man read. I assume that a man who is not a scholar or a man who breaks the rule cannot read more than 300 books in his lifetime. If he has a family, a craft, a work, martial pursuit, or anything that resembles a life, his time of leisure, if you want to call the toil and battle for wisdom and knowledge that, is limited, especially if he wants to do more than out of what he has been given. Who tries to push the boundaries of what is known has to go where no one can see or has seen and fail many times until he has found the path. Some will stumble in the darkness forever, their only hope is that another will take up the torch when he has fallen to raise no more. But if one does not, even then his time is limited. Let's say that a man has 2/3 of his evenings to spend with reading. Let's be excessive and give him 4 hours. One of it might be spent with reading, with thinking, one with rereading, one with writing down what he has gained and to order his thoughts. Out of that, how many pages he got? 25? In a year that will be around 6,000. If the average book he reads is about 300 pages, it would be 20 books, the more or less. I assume he reads literature that is heavy on the mind. He has to reread what already has, maybe countless of times. One does not always have the mental fortitude to reread and smash his head against the wall, nor does one have to. There we have an essential problem in reading. Books should add and not take from your life. It should not hinder you in participating in it, and life should not be wasted only reading. A task without a goal becomes procrastinating very fast. So I assume a maximal capacity of 1 book per month, what would be 12 per year, again depending on the book or the reader, would be more realistic, as neither Hegel or Homer will be read in a month, so I have been told. Both equal needed the whole life for it. For his lifetime from 16 to 75 years old, and his formative years from to 30, that would be a maximum of around 720 books and 180 books. To put that into perspective, anomalies like Friedrich Nietzsche or Apollonius Radnik de Berca had private libraries that did not really surpass 1,000 books. And these men were the elite of their time. Nietzsche read extreme a lot if he didn't write something himself, because that will hinder the process of coming with his own stuff. For many old men that accumulated all of that books and knowledge, it would be better to spend the evening teaching the young than piling and hoarding what will be gone once they're dead. Not all of the books one acquires will be read. A lot of those filled up shelves are not more than decorative dust catchers. Many will stand there just for show and to impress. The more one reads on one subject, the more those books will sound the same. A niche will not grow larger the more one forces himself in it. What a man foremost has to do is selective reading, especially if he wants to read something different, something new, that is not the well-agreed one classics, more or less. A river that does not flow will turn into a rotten swamp very fast, but at the same time a man does not want to breed with anything. The same, he should not read anything he could get his hands on. Prejudice is good. Don't let anyone other tell you otherwise. To work down a list in no particular order of how does one select. First, always judge a book by its cover. By that I mean not to fall for merchant tricks, but to always go with your instinct. It is right, always right every single time. If you do not care what the author has to say in the first place, don't force yourself to read him. You will find out after or in the middle of the book with regret. Hopefully in the beginning, just throw the book away. Life is too short to waste it on or for useless books you don't even want to read in the first place. Second, you may have to read a book of 300 pages or more, or once in your life before, and after that you thought to yourself, I could have said that in 5 pages. If the author doesn't get to the point, you don't have to wait there and waste your time. You're not married to him or you're not his kin. You just move on. Third, if you are not a scholar or a professional or a man with a specific obsession, You do not have to read 30 books on the same topic. Alexander doesn't win at Gaugamela any different in the 27th biography. Read Plutarch or Arrian, maybe again, and be done with it. Fourth, ignoring modern scientific literature. Do not read books that are useless to you in the first place. There's no reason you should know something about Roman latrines. Places where you take a poop. The Romans themselves did not write about it, so will you not do the same to your descendants and tell them where you took a dump? That will be quite vulgar and a waste of time or paper. The paper should be, in this case, used otherwise. Fifth, if you found a book that was worth the read and brought you further in life, consider, under certain circumstances, to read it again. You will know when. I rather read something like Beowulf or the Iliad again and again than one page of what women or other people call a good taste in literature. Sixth, read more than one in one field. Sophie, history, mythology, all of this stuff cannot be understood isolated. Seventh, if a book does not align with your soul, don't read it. Excuse can be made to have a mirror or difference in your own, maybe to understand different cultures, but only if one is versed and grounded in one's own. For example, only a pervert has use for Foucault. 8. Be grateful for easy wisdom, without reading or understanding all of the book. When I read the Bhagavad Gita, some Indian mythology book, every word I lost after I hold it. I couldn't keep any of it. I forgot everything I read right away. Nothing stayed in memory while reading it, but one passage, ironically, that was the most important or most recited passage. I found out after. It's when Krishna shows Arjuna his true form and says to the reluctant warrior that he should not be saddened if he kills, or as he does, because he just does his duty and does the part what time does or what is meant to happen. He does not kill them really. He just gives them. He just forces them to change, and they forever will just simply wander. And he said to Arjuna that he should fight. Fight, Arjuna, fight. Is it right? It is right for you to fight and to kill. Fight for yourself and your kin. I gratefully received what was given to me. I will not try to understand the rest. I personally do not really have the ambition to or care. Only read the books to whom you want to that want to talk to you and have a message for you. 9th, reading is not an achievement. The same for reading a lot. It should give you depth to draw from to help you achieve. Reading should be the stones you put on the fundament of a bridge you try to build. It is neither the bridge nor the other side itself, nor the goal. It does not replace the dancing on heights. Don't let other people dictate your reading. A counsel is not a judgment. Don't let libraries crush your enthusiasm and encouragement to do so. Once libraries were a promise to me of indefinite wisdom and knowledge. Now it is not more than an empty shell of an outworn debt it owes to me, a lie. They say a room without books have no soul. A man who has only read books cannot call one his own. Libraries are not sanctuaries of wisdom, but a graveyard. The man who digs in them and brings bones and lost scrolls of wisdom, the man who reads and writes, that is the man who is the true living in it. The books should be there for you and not you for them. Do not think about how much you have and will read, but you should and want to read. I am a man who has probably read more than he should have, even if I want to know more. Reading is to remember what we could not keep, what we have forgotten, but who wants to know has to forget. Lose and miss to want more. Knowledge is not wisdom. Let books burn, let us dance in the ashes. Let us find them again as we found them the first time. Dance with me in the library of our minds.